But you just kind of take it in stride. But yeah, I had a few where I wasn't so sure how things were gonna go down. Yeah.
In class, we've talked a lot about killing and death and war. What is your darkest memory of the war?
My darkest memory would be the night that we had the 16 insurgents come in. We lost 2 Marines that night and a whole lot of other stuff on the base. It was a terrible night. And then the next day, watching, they put the Marines who were killed into MRAPs, which are big armored trucks that we drive over there, and played Amazing Grace and drove them through the base before they took them to the flight line to fly home. I don't remember if it was the next day or a couple days later, but they did that, and that whole few days was bad, and it spikes a lot of anger. You just want to go out and just kill anybody who doesn't look the way that. Yeah, it puts you in a really a bad place where you're not really thinking rationally. That would be probably my darkest. Would be those few days. And there were some other things, but that was probably the worst time that we had. Was just kind of waiting to see where they were going to pop up. They were popping up from different people on base, and it was a bad time.
What helped you get through the war?
The things that helped me get through, honestly, was the biggest thing was just the people that we were with. You really lean on each other and support each other. When somebody's having a bad day, or if something happened, you were on a mission and something happened and really shook you up, and your 2 guys get back and everybody else is really there to rally for you and get you back on top. And it was that, and having internet some places. We paid, I think, $130 a month or something like that to have extremely slow, like, dial-up speed internet. It's terrible, but it was nice to have it every once in a while, just to be able to talk to your family and tell them everything was all right, and just like kind of walk around the house with them and while they make dinner and just talk to them for a little while, and just kind of made you feel like you were back. And then being able to surf, like, the Tribe is a big website we all go to, just seeing some funny pictures and something light and little things like that, helped us through. And then we'd have, like certain meals you would look forward your whole week to, like steak night, and the steak was terrible. But you look forward to it your whole week, it gets you through the week, and you joke, just that, the little things was what you relied on, and the people around you. We all supported each other. It was nice having everybody's in it together, it was good to have that.
How were holidays different while serving in the military?
Holidays when I was on a ship they were a lot of fun. We always did, a crew Christmas party and wherever it may be, and we would do like raffles for gifts, and in our small little shop we would do like Secret Santa or something, and we had a lot of fun with it. Thanksgiving we'd always fry a turkey on the pier and then bake one on the ship, and if you wanted to come in you could, but you didn't have to. And the food was great, and everybody's hanging out and having a good time, and everybody, somebody would always have a party and the whole crew would be there. And so it was a lot of fun on the ship for most of the holidays, and then you get work off for a few days surrounding the holidays most times for like Christmas and New Year's. That's where you get like 2 weeks where you kind of alternate. You come in every 3 days or whatever, and they just keep a skeleton crew. So it was a lot of fun when I was at a stateside unit. And then overseas, the holidays were the days we all dreaded. They were the worst. The enemy over there, they know what our holidays were, and so they would always pick those days to come at us the worst. And we would take, usually we would take mortar fire and rocket fire real heavy. We'd take it all day, all night for a couple of days before and after, and that was always their big days to really, really hammer us. They wanted to, mentally get to you, and so they picked the holidays to get at you the worst. And usually, when you take fire like that hard, they usually block out our internet, or when somebody gets killed, they knock the internet down, so the family doesn't find out from Facebook or something crazy like that. So it was always tough. You really generally couldn't communicate with anybody, and you were getting hit hard, and you were sitting in a bunker all day and eating crappy food usually. And I mean, they were over there. Those were our worst days generally for the most part.
How did your war experience change you as a person?
Overall as a person, personally, I don't notice the change so much just because it's me, and it's come so gradually, and I got into that mentality, and so it doesn't seem like I'm that different to me, but from what my family says, I've changed a lot, and my girlfriend does, and I mean, it's definitely made me a lot more